All right, so we are now recording, and let me bring this live. Awesome. And we are live. So everyone, thank you for joining us today. This webinar, we're going to be talking about creating outreach campaigns instantly with the Postaga Content Hub. And if you have any questions at all, please feel free to ask them in the Q&A section on the Zoom or in the live chat. So let's dive right in. So a bit about me. Who's this random person that you see hosting this webinar today? My name is Andy. I am a co-founder at Postaga. Prior to starting this company, I previously founded and then eventually sold a successful digital marketing agency that was focused on the niche of law firms. So we did law firm web design and SEO. I know that a bunch of our users are in that space, and there are a lot of marketing companies focusing on different niches. So that was the one that we focused on. I also happen to be a lawyer, though I am not practicing, and none of the advice I am going to give you today is legal advice, nor should it be interpreted as legal advice. I don't know. I don't know if I'd even need that disclaimer, but whatever. And fun fact, in a few weeks, I'm going to be officiating a friend's wedding. So I'm looking forward to that. All right, now you know a little bit about me, and I know a little bit about you and where everyone is coming from today. So let's talk about what we're going to talk about, which is this agenda. So we're going to talk about the Content Hub, how it works, and how it can help you more easily figure out what kinds of outreach campaigns to run and help you run them more quickly. So we're going to talk about the Content Hub. We're going to talk about its intelligence features and analysis. We're going to talk about our content analyzer, as well as our campaign generator. And I'm going to run through a few real examples so you can see all of how it works. And then afterwards, I've got an offer just for people in attendance today. And then we'll do a Q&A. So if you have any questions at all, please feel free to ask them in the Q&A section or in the chat, and we will get to them during this Q&A at the end. So step one of all of this, if you are not currently, you should check out Postaga, because the Content Hub that I'm going to be talking about is all related to Postaga, which is a tool that helps you with outreach, from prospecting and finding relevant websites and podcasters and bloggers to connect with, as well as finds the right contact people, finds their email addresses, and then lets you build and send personalized outreach emails to them. So if you don't have a Postaga account yet, you can grab it from postaga.com and you can check out a free trial there. Also, I want to know a little bit more about everybody in the audience today. So I want to know about, are you currently running any cold outreach campaigns? So I'm going to launch a poll real quick, and it should be visible now. If I want to know a bit more about you. So the question is, are you currently doing any cold outreach? Options are yes, no, but curious to learn more, or not now, but I have in the past. And so I'm going to leave this open for a few more seconds, and then we can move on. I'm curious to know. All right. All right, and so let's close out this poll. Awesome. So the question was, are you currently doing any cold email outreach? Options were yes, no, but curious to learn more, or not now, but I have in the past. And the results of that, yes, 26%, no, but curious to learn more is 63%, and not now, but have in the past at 11%. That's good to know. It's good to know where everyone's coming from, where their experience is. But also, I want to ask another question in terms of kind of one of the reasons that we built the Content Hub is in part because we had some people who come to us and ask us, like, I like the idea of doing outreach, but I have no idea what kinds of what outreach is right for my business. So I've got this question now here the poll will launch right now. The question is, where are you in terms of figuring out cold outreach? No idea if it's right for my business. I get the idea of it. I just don't know what kind of outreach to do, or I have a strategy that's working for me. So I'm curious to know where everyone falls on that. And most people have filled out the poll. I'll leave it out open for a few more seconds. If you haven't yet, please look at your webinar screen. You should see this poll, and you could fill it out, and then we will close this up. I'll wait 3 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. All right. And let's see where everyone is on this. So no idea if it's right for my business, about 29%. I get it. I just don't know what kinds of outreach to do, about 2/3. And I have a strategy that's working for me at 5%. So it sounds like for a vast majority of you, we're going to have a lot of good ideas for how we can do outreach for your business with this content hub. So I'm excited to get into that a bit more. In general, what I will say is that cold outreach can work for most any business, any business that has either a blog or a business that is B2B focused, so trying to get customers that are other businesses. There are like a wide range of activities and types of cold outreach that you can do, from using cold outreach to get backlinks, to find other blogs that might be able to link to your blog articles, which will help your articles rank better in search and help you drive more traffic. There are also more what's called digital PR focused outreach campaigns, which kind of entails either, for example, connecting with a blog to pitch them to review your app or your product for their blog, or doing something like reaching out to a podcaster to ask them to be a guest on their podcast. Personally, I've had a lot of success with that one. I recommend that to really most anyone with an online business, in part because every time you get featured as a guest on a podcast, they will link to you and your website in the show notes, and it helps you reach a new audience. That's a personal favorite of mine. And the last one is cold outreach for sales and doing like lead generation. And that's particularly good for business to business. So if you have other specific types of businesses that you're looking to connect with to be potential customers of yours, cold outreach can be good for that as well. I generally don't recommend it cold out like sales lead gen type outreach for B2C, because if your customers are individuals, then it's not so easy to prospect and find them. But it can be useful, like prospecting and like doing outreach can be useful to find potential partners, other channels, other websites that might be able to, that have like the same or a similar audience as you, that you could possibly work together with and co-market with to reach that audience. So just kind of some general broad things to keep in mind. So next up, let's talk about the Content Hub in Postaga. So basically, if you go into your Postaga account, which if you log in app.postaga.com, right now on the sidebar, you will see a button for Content Hub. If for any reason you do not see this button in your Postaga account, please email us at support@postaga.com. I don't think there's any reason that there's no reason that anyone shouldn't be seeing this, but if for any reason you aren't, please let us know. And if you click on the Content Hub, the very first thing that's going to happen is Postaga is going to ask to activate your Content Hub by analyzing your website. And so your website domain will be automatically entered below based on the domain that you set when you create your account. And then after you click Analyze, Postaga is going to basically take an inventory of your website, analyze all of your content, as well as your competitors and your industry, to give you some insights into not only like the landscape related to SEO and content for your site, but also your target market at large, as well as giving you kind of insights into that market. So this is not just a tool that helps with generating outreach campaigns, but it also helps give you some insight into your content and market as well. If you have, and we're going to dive into this now. I'll show you what's up next. So what I'm going to do is I just created a thing for HubSpot, and what we're going to do is we're going to click Analyze, and then Postaga is going to analyze the contents of the HubSpot website. And so your domain, when you're logged in, will be entered here. You'll click Analyze, and then Postaga is going to jump in and analyze all of your site content, basically. And now I'm gonna kind of jump ahead. And so like what you're gonna see is you're gonna see this page is gonna say your scan is underway. And over time it'll refresh, and you can, at this point, you can leave this page and come back later. But Postaga will let you know via an email that when it's completed. So you don't have to stay waiting on this page. You can go do other stuff. You can run other campaigns. You can, and however many pages you have, the more pages you have, the more time it's going to take. So you can always come back later. So next up, let me jump into another account, so you can kind of see what the final product looks like. And so for this example, I'm going to use, and you should see on your screen now, a website. This is JurisPage. This is my old marketing agency. If for any reason that's not showing up on your page, let me know. But you should be seeing that. And so the site here, all about digital marketing for law firms. And so if you have a marketing agency, I'm sure your site will be tailored to your audience or whoever it is you're looking to connect with. And so the site has a lot of interior pages about services, as well as a blog. And we want to analyze this and come up with some ideas. So this is kind of what the Content Hub looks like after after it does its analysis to show you kind of all of the things here. So we've got 3 tabs here. There's intelligence, there's campaign generator, and then there is content. And want to kind of break down each of these and what they entail. So the intelligence section here, this is kind of Postaga's analysis of your website, as well as your competitors and the landscape that you're in. So Postaga will look into your domain, see what keywords you seem to be going after and trying to rank for, and also see what other websites there are in your same industry that are maybe going after similar keywords. And so this first tab here is we call potential content partners. These are websites that have content in a similar space to yours. I know, for example, like Clio is a software company in the legal space, and Lawyerist is a blog in the legal tech space. Some of these companies might be competitors. Some of these are blogs or groups or associations, and so this kind of gives you a list of people, of other domains publishing similar content tiers that might be good for you reaching out to pitch, having you do a guest post for, or maybe do some co-marketing with. So there are some opportunities for you there. And in the campaign generator, one of the automatically generated campaigns is going to be a custom campaign where you can reach out to these websites to pitch them either a guest post or co-marketing or whatever you like there. So that's this first tab that we've got. Next up, we've got domain keywords. And so this breaks down all of the main keywords that it seems like that your website is targeting, which can give you some insight into, like, for example, well, one, are these keywords that you want to be targeting? Are there keywords that are missing from this list that you want to be targeting? So Postaga basically analyzes all of your content all throughout your site to determine what are the most prominent keywords, what's featured a lot, and so like this is what analysis, like what we see that your site seems to be geared towards. And so if there's content that you should be creating that you haven't created, this can maybe give you some ideas, as well as maybe give you ideas of things that you want to focus on more. So um, this kind of shows a breakdown of all that, and this looks mostly all good to me. You know, law firms to market, email marketing, sure, law firm marketing, legal research, and there are a lot of like blog articles on the site geared towards this and geared towards this market. So this looks all pretty good. There might be a term or two that we're not showing up for that we want to, that can give us ideas of some things. Next up is post title inspiration. And so I like this one a lot for coming up with content, coming up with ideas for blog posts. And basically this is a rundown of some competitors' blog articles, kind of analyzing what other people in your space are writing about, and can give you maybe some ideas of topics that you want to focus on for future content, so you can outcompete these other websites. This looks all good to me. Related searches, similar to that, we also do an analysis of, given all these websites in this space, what are some other keywords that people are searching for that maybe you're not covering in your content that you could be covering. So this is also great for coming up with ideas for content as well. Give you ideas of things to possibly be focusing on. And then the last one here is related questions. This is an analysis related to related searches. It's showing you questions that people are asking related to your market. And I like this also for inspiration for figuring out what topics I could be writing about for the future. Before I get to this campaign generator, I want to talk about this content tab, which basically takes stock of all of the content on your website. So all of the pages, all of the posts, categorizes them by what type of content it is, as well as further kind of breaks down like a subtype between like what type of content it is. So if it's like a guide blog post or a question relate type of blog post, it kind of breaks all of that down. And so if I click on content type, I can see, for example, all of our blog posts. I can see pages. I can see like our homepage and things like that. And so if I've got blog posts here, I can check out which are our guide related blog posts. I can look at all of the types, all the content, seeing like the word count of these posts. In general, I like to do outreach for my longest posts because they tend to get the best results. So I can see what keyword each of my posts seems to be focusing on. And so like we've got this guide here about SEO for law firms. It's a rather long post. It's got a bunch of external links. I can think of right off the bat a few campaigns that I might want to run to promote this article. But in general, I like focusing on doing outreach for blog posts that are longer because it tends to have, in my experience at least, a better success rate. The longer your content is, the more thorough it is, the more likely it is that I find that other sites will be eager to link to that content because you're providing a real resource for it. And so we also have articles that are like comparison posts and interviews. And so it breaks down all of this, and I can kind of see, like, is there an area of content that I'm not focusing on that maybe I want to? So like, for example, I have got a lot of, I don't really have many interview style posts. Maybe I want to add more interview style posts, product reviews in our space. Maybe there's some other things I want to focus on, in-depth guides on a given topic. I got a bunch of these. So that kind of shows you basically a lay of the land in terms of all your existing content that can maybe give you some ideas for campaigns you might want to run, as well as ideas for content you might want to focus on in the future, as well as to give you information about like what the real focus keyword seems to be. One question actually that I want to answer right now from Ryan is, so you have to have a website with a lot of content to use the software. So that's a good question, and I've seen we've had a lot of people use the Content Hub lately, and if your site does not have a ton of content, if your site doesn't have, probably I'd say like maybe 15 to 20 pages or more of content, it's harder to get a real in-depth analysis of the site and kind of the focus keywords and things like that. But even so, the campaign generator feature in particular is going to be something that you can use and can get a ton of benefit from. The intelligence aspects and the content analysis aspects are things that will provide you more value when you have more content. So that is the content tab. Now let's check out the campaign generator. And this is my favorite part, and this is, I think, the part that's going to be most exciting for all of you. What the campaign generator is going to do is it's going to effectively give us recommendations on outreach campaigns to be running for our content. So in addition to Postaga analyzing our content, our articles and things like that, it's going to give us suggestions of specific campaigns to run for our articles, as well as other ideas related to our business overall. So we're at this campaign generator screen. If this is the very first time you are coming to this screen, and you get to it by clicking this tab over here, you're going to get a survey. So I'm going to click next, and Postaga is going to ask you a bit about your website. And so what's the main purpose of this? I want to, let's say, I want to sell services. Great. So I want to sell marketing services. What are some keywords that you'd like to rank for? And so Postaga will give us suggestions here, and that you could just click and that will get added. Great. I've got law firm marketing, law firm SEO, web design, law practice management. Let's see, any other terms that I want to rank for, but that all looks good. So I'll add these, and from here, actually, let's do law practice management. Okay, I already added that one. This next section asks, do you want to be featured on podcasts? So if you want to be a guest on podcasts and do podcast outreach campaigns, Postaga is going to then ask, what keywords do you want to focus on? Like, what types of podcasts do you want to be on? And so, well, I want to focus on law firm marketing related podcasts, or law firm, or let's say legal marketing. But also I'm an expert on SEO, so let's focus on SEO podcasts as well, and digital marketing podcasts also, and just add a comma here, and great, it'll get added. And we'll do a max, so it'll do a max of 5 for now. Awesome. Next, do I want to generate sales leads? If so, click yes here. And if you're going to search for potential customers on Google, like what are some search terms you would use? And as I mentioned before, if you the sales lead generation part is most useful if you're in a B2B space, so your customers are other businesses, or if you're looking to find potential partners that are other businesses or types of businesses. So if you're going to search for potential customers on Google, what terms would you use? So law firm, lawyer, let's say personal injury lawyer, a divorce lawyer. Okay. Are your potential customers geographically based if you are searching for this? And so what country, if so, do you want to target? We can talk, now we're going to target in United States, let's say. Great. And here, what are some other competitors in your space? And then we can add them here. I added these, and I can add others as well. And the next question is, do these customers have reviews written about them? And the reason we ask this is, in particular, if your business is like an app or a physical product, or even another service business where you might find blog articles that do like in-depth reviews and analyses of these products, we can see other websites and articles that have written about them so that you can reach out to them to pitch them like, hey, I saw that you did this really great write-up of this product or this app or whatever. Since your audience is interested in that, I thought you might be interested in our product, checking out our product as well. Had a lot of success with that, in particular for businesses that are apps, as well as some e-commerce businesses too. So then after this, we're going to click generate. And now Postaga is going to give us a bunch of campaigns to run. So we've got a lot of different campaign types, some related to our blog posts, some related to these other keywords, sales outreach campaigns, podcast suggestions, reviews, as well as that campaign related to potential content partners. And so how this works basically is Postaga is going to give you a bunch of suggested campaigns in different categories. And so the mentioned campaign, for example, which finds outbound links in your blog articles, so you can reach out to those websites. Postaga has 18 recommendations here. Awesome. And so I can use these. So like I can basically run these campaigns so that I can, with one click of a button here, I can run a campaign and Postaga will target all of the websites linked to in this article. So I can pitch them like, hey, just want to let you know, I really liked your article and I linked to it in my article. It would be great if you could reciprocate by linking to it or share this with your audience, something to that effect. And that's what the mentioned campaign does there. I can also kind of review all of these if I want to. I can reject any of these campaigns or I can run them. And then if I click run, it's going to automatically start building this campaign for me. And as you see, great, it's got the mention campaign. It's pulling all of the outbound links from this article, and then it's going to like basically go through this entire campaign process. And all I'm doing is I'm just clicking one button here, and then it is finding these websites, finding the right contact people, and then from there I can get their email addresses and build the email sequence to reach out to them. So that's what the mention campaign is. The resources campaign basically is good for finding other articles that link to resources on a given topic. So like, for example, email marketing for lawyers, I can search for articles in this campaign type, search for articles on the topic of like law firm marketing and and articles that have links to dozens of other websites and blog posts on that topic to reach out to them and say, hey, your article is really thorough and great. You should link to my post, which is brand new, all about this topic in depth and be a good additional resource for your audience. For the guest post campaign, basically we can find websites to pitch for you to write guest blog posts for. In particular, for people who do link building regularly, people who specialize in link building, this is a very popular type of outreach, in particular because reaching out to websites to do guest posts for them. You're offering them a completely brand new specialized piece of content for their website that's relevant to their audience. And in exchange, they will link back to your website in the article or in the author bio or what have you. And this is a very, very scalable thing that you can do and repeat over and over again forever. And so people who do link building regularly love these guest post campaigns in particular. The Multiscraper campaign type is our take on the skyscraper campaign. So if you're familiar with skyscraper or not, basically how skyscraper works is skyscraper finds articles on a given topic and sees what websites are linking to this top ranked article, and then lets you find those contacts in those websites and then reach out to them to pitch them to the effect of, hey, I came across your article when searching for this topic. I saw that one variation of the pitch is, I saw that you linked to this article, but that article is bad. It's out of date. I've written a brand new article on this topic that is much better. It's more in depth. It's more up to date. You should definitely link to my article instead. Another variant on that, the pitch is, hey, I saw that you have this great article. I wanted to share with you this resource that I built on a related topic, but it's not directly competing with yours. It would be great if you could link to that. And you might have some sort of sweetener in that pitch, like also I have this company and be happy to share with you access to our app or whatever, or happy to do some co-marketing or guest posting or things like that as well. The sales outreach, now Postaga will build basically a ton of sales lead gen campaigns ready to go. And so those keywords that we focused on before, Postaga can automatically build these sales campaigns for us. And I can run through all of these to find potential customers to connect with. And so I've got all these keywords, all these different cities. And so great, like if I click to run this campaign, I'm searching for a Chicago divorce lawyer, let's say. Postaga is going to run this. Great. I'll click find results. And now Postaga is going to find me divorce law firms to connect with. And then if I got a really good sales pitch for them, and hopefully you've checked out our previous webinars. We've done 2 of them related to sales lead generation. If you haven't checked those out, I'd recommend them. We have some good tips on doing sales outreach, as well as crafting good sales pitch cold emails. And so great, I've got a bunch of law firms here, and I got 79 law firms here. If I click to show all results and I scroll further down, I can get more results, and then that's a lot of potential customers for me to connect with. And I can go through these, but for the most part, these are all going to be good. Yeah, I want to reach out to all these sites. So then same process as before, I click analyze results. Postaga is then going to find the right contact people, and then from there, find their email addresses, and then we can reach out to them. So if you haven't seen this section before, now the step before finding the email address is finding the right target contact person. And we have some nifty ways to find the right people. For example, we've got this kind of LinkedIn connection tool where we kind of look on LinkedIn to see if we can find the right person at these businesses. I like this contact person, for example. I'm going to use them. If I don't have a contact person for this business, for example, though, we've got links to other pages like the team page or the about page. And look at that. If I click this link to the about page or the team page, it gives me this person's name, and I can just copy them and paste them into here. And then next up, I'm just going to skip ahead. Kind of same thing. We're going to now Postaga finds the email addresses. And then after finding the right email addresses for these people, we can build and send our outreach emails and pitch them and follow up with them. So sales lead gen is also a popular one. So if Postaga isn't just for doing link building outreach or digital PR, it's also been increasingly popular for sales as well. Next up, this podcast campaign will basically run podcast outreach campaigns to find relevant podcasts for us to be a guest on. Most of the Postaga campaign types have template emails ready to go so that you can kind of work with them, you can edit them, tailor them to your own needs. But I will say that the template that Postaga has built in for podcasts, it's the one that I use myself, and it has a very high success rate in my experience. I personally get around like a 20% reply rate, which is very good. If you're doing outreach for like link building or anything else, like a regular typical reply rate could be between 2 to 5%. Really good outreach can be 10%, but podcast pitches in particular, I think because it's not as and not as crowded. And because podcasters are always looking for good content, I've just personally had a lot of luck with it. I know one person who has gotten over a 30% reply rate, and now I'm working on making my pitches similar to theirs. But podcast campaigns I can't recommend strongly enough if you're looking for building your audience and also for link building. So review campaigns next up. This will give you suggestions on, basically this will automatically build campaigns targeting competitors and find where your competitors have been reviewed by other blogs so that you can then reach out to those blogs with a pitch of something to the effect of, hey, I saw you did a really good write-up of this app, this business, this product or service. Since your audience is interested in that, I thought they might be interested in my product or something like that. And that that also I found has a pretty good success rate as well. So these are all the different types of campaigns that with one click you can run in Postaga. And yep, like I showed you, this will automatically run. It'll automatically enter the relevant information as well as like for this one, the competitor. And so I know that a lot of people, when we started, were wondering, well, what kinds of campaigns would be a good fit for my business? Well, the campaign generator can help you with that. The campaign generator, whether or not you have a lot of content on your site or not, there are a bunch of campaigns that Postaga can suggest that will still be relevant for you. So even if you don't have a lot of blog posts, for example, and you're like, all right, well, mention campaign wouldn't be a good fit or resources wouldn't be a good fit, Postaga can still give you recommendations on like sales outreach or review campaigns or podcast pitches and things like that. And yeah, if you're like trying to get ideas of campaigns to run, I would just go down this list, try a variety of campaigns, and go from there. One thing that I see with people who are new to outreach is like they don't know how much outreach to do or what to expect. So I will say that if you haven't done a lot of outreach, outreach is very much a numbers game. So I had mentioned before that like some of my more successful campaigns get a 20% response rate, but others might get like a between 2 to 5% response rate. So that means you need to send out a lot of campaigns and a lot of emails to get these wins. So if you send out like one campaign that has 10 contacts in it, it's possible you might not get any responses and you might be thinking, oh, well, it can't work for me, but that might not be the case. It's probably not the case. You just might need to be sending more campaigns. So that is all about how the Content Hub works. Next up, before we get to Q&A, I wanted to share something specifically for this audience while we're here. I know that a lot of our users are running multiple websites or are agencies that have many clients, or you might be an affiliate marketer with multiple properties, and you might want to run the Content Hub and run outreach campaigns for multiple websites. So if you're looking to do more outreach with a variety of businesses, here is where we want to help you out. So we have a new tier in Postaga. You might have seen in Postaga, we have the Pro plan, which is meant for one website, and the agency plan, which is for up to 30 websites for digital marketing agencies that want to do outreach for many clients. But we know that there is like a medium spot, right? Where some people are like, oh, I have 3 websites, or I have 4 websites, or even more than even 2 websites that I want to do outreach campaigns for, or I want to do sales outreach for, but just the one pro account isn't enough for me. So we have a Pro Plus tier, we're calling it, which gives you up to 5 sub accounts so that you can run outreach campaigns for up to 5 websites, each with their own separate accounts and spaces, and you can run the Content Hub and the campaign generator for each of those. And you can also have email addresses specific to sending email addresses specific to each of those. So if I've got like Jurispage on one domain and I'm sending emails from @Jurispage, or I'm sending emails from @Postaga, I can have those all completely separate and have different sending emails with multiple users for each of those. So if you want to check that out, normally this plan would be $149 a month, and our regular Pro plan, which gives you 1 account, is $99 a month. But instead of it being $149 a month, just for literally this week, thank you for joining us on this webinar, and to give you more opportunities to promote multiple websites, whether you have 1 today or 5 today, or you plan on adding more, you'll get $50 off for your month. So that's basically the equivalent of the Pro plan, which is $99 a month. And if you already have the Pro plan, you can upgrade to the Pro Plus, and it costs you literally nothing extra. So that might be something you want to check out. To grab this deal, you can, for whether you're an existing customer of Postaga or you're brand new, you can go to postaga.com/hub, and that will redirect you to our upgrade page with the Pro Plus plan, which can get you those 5 sub accounts. So if you're on a Pro plan, I would definitely recommend checking this out, since it costs you nothing more. If you're looking to do outreach for whether it's one property or multiple websites in the future, I would absolutely grab it, because we're only offering that this week. And after that, it's going to be $149 a month. And so, yeah, if you're looking into getting and doing outreach, otherwise the regular Pro plan that I mentioned for one website is going to be, the Pro plan is normally $99 a month. So to check that out, you can go to postaga.com/hub, and this offer is going to expire at 11:59 p.m. Eastern time this Friday. So to check, I would recommend checking that out and upgrading sooner rather than later. So a little bit more about Postaga and some feedback that we've gotten. A lot of people in the link building and digital PR space are using Postaga today. We have I lost count, but it's over 10,000 users, people using Postaga. And some feedback that we've gotten so far, from Diana Mayfield, who is a digital PR expert. She's been booking podcasts with just a few minutes each month. Basically, she runs one campaign each month. She lands guest spots on podcasts, and that's her wins for the month. Sel Evans runs a digital marketing agency, and she has been saving a ton of hours, because if you've been doing outreach, you know that it can be somewhat time intensive and labor intensive with the typical processes of using one tool for prospecting, using another tool for email finding, using another tool for email validating, and then another tool for sending emails and follow-ups. So as you kind of see through Postaga, our process is a lot quicker. You can build outreach campaigns in just a few minutes. And then Maria, who's been specialized in link building outreach, she's building backlinks to her articles with just a few minutes running these campaigns. So if you're curious to be able to build more links to your blog posts or get featured on podcasts, get press coverage for your businesses or for your clients, I'd recommend checking out Postaga, as well as in particular the Pro Plus plan, which you can get by going to postaga.com/hub. Next steps after today, what I recommend doing, if you haven't yet, check out our Facebook group, which you can join by going to facebook.com/group/grow together SEO. And it's a really engaged community of people in link building, sales, and digital PR. Every week we have regular posts where people share their link and guest post opportunities, as well as sharing their content and other tips and tools that they recommend and use. I'd absolutely recommend checking that out. Also, if you haven't yet, check out postaga.com and you can grab a demo that I run every Friday on postaga.com/demo. So next up, let's get to some questions. One question I had was about GDPR in particular. Should I worry about GDPR from a GDPR perspective? So with GDPR, I've done a lot of research into this. You can reach out to people if there is a legitimate business purpose to it, provided that you have a way for them to opt out, and it's kind of similar to can spam laws in the United States, which can spam also requires that you have a mailing address as well in like somewhere mentioned in your emails. And we automatically have this in Postaga in our footers. Like we have a can spam option to enable, which is typically default for you. You can have your address and you can have a way for people to opt out. But you can send cold emails that are GDPR compliant. You just have to make sure that they are relevant and there is a legitimate business purpose. So some people have said that they've run the Content Hub a few times and gotten nothing. So one thing I mentioned before, if your website doesn't have a ton of pages, there's not going to be a lot for us to analyze. But you can still run the campaign generator. So even if Postaga doesn't have many insights or intelligence for your site to say like, these are the keywords that you're clearly focusing on, just because there's not a ton of content, you can still go to that content generator section and Postaga will be able to suggest campaigns that you can run. And that's probably the single most popular feature of this, of the Content Hub, is the campaign generator, because it will tell you exactly what kind of campaigns you should be running for your business. Someone asks, can I add a second business of mine to the Content Hub? You can with the Pro Plus plan. I'd recommend checking that out. As I mentioned before, you can get that by going to postaga.com/hub, and that's open through the end of this week. Let's see. Other questions. Is the analyzer able to distinguish pages in different languages? Our site is in 3 languages, and I'm getting suggestions in Italian, English, and Spanish. How can I limit the analysis to 1 language only? That's from Marco. Marco, that is a great question that I'm writing this down. I do not have the answer to it. Hopefully Sam would know. I'm writing this down now. Multiple languages. Interesting. And can you restart the campaign generator if you've made a mistake with selecting categories. So reach out to us on support. That's support@postaga.com if you want to rerun the campaign generator. If this is a feature that a lot of people are asking for, we'll build that in. Yeah, reach out to support@postaga.com and we can help you reset the campaign generator if you want to run that again. We literally just launched the Content Hub last week. So we're going to be adding a ton more to it over time. And so this is version 1 of the Content Hub. Along with is the Pro Plus plan open for. So that's for the foreseeable future. So it's not just 1 month. Yeah, it's moving forward into the future as well. I don't know that it's going to be this way forever, but if we ever get to a point where I just want to, in transparency, if we ever increase prices, we'll give you a significant warning of several months, as well as give you an opportunity to lock in that rate moving forward. Let's see. If you and so if you're running the Content Hub and you have any other specific questions for your site or anything like that, you can feel free to email us at support@postaga.com. But that looks like that is most of the questions we have. So one last thing I want to mention again is that if you've run the Content Hub and you aren't getting like a ton of recommendations from like the intelligence or the content analysis because there's not a lot of content on your site, you can still run the campaign generator and get suggestions for your for campaigns to run on your site, like as well as recommendations for other campaigns not related to your content, like podcasts and sales and reviews and things like that, which I would absolutely recommend that you all take advantage of. So with that, I think that those are all the questions we have for now. If you have any other questions at all, please feel free to reach out to us at support@postaga.com, and we'll get to those right away. In the meantime, please, check out the Content Hub, throw in your website, see what recommendations it gives, and that will give you a good start in terms of figuring out what outreach campaigns you can run for your business. So thank you so much for joining us today. I've had a lot of fun doing this, and hopefully you've got some great additional value out of this as well. So we'll see you next time. We'll be having some more webinars coming up over the next few months, or we have a ton of stuff planned, and we're excited for that. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day.